Ever heard of a shoe that was so popular it got banned? That's what happened to Nike's first Air Jordans. They sold out in a single day, and even though the NBA didn't want players to wear them, they became a huge hit. From classic Converse Chuck Taylors to the latest LeBron kicks, NBA sneakers have been more than just shoes. They've been symbols of style, history, and the players who wore them. Let's find out the best sneakers ever worn on the NBA court. When we talk about NBA sneakers, there's no better place to start than the Air Jordan 1. Released back in 1985, this shoe didn't just change the game, it revolutionized it. Designed by Peter Moore for a young Michael Jordan, the Air Jordan 1 broke all the rules with its bold colors. And here's the interesting thing, the NBA banned the shoe at first. They said it didn't meet their uniform policy, but you know what? That just made people want it even more. Nike saw an opportunity and ran with it, launching their famous banned ad campaign. But the Air Jordan 1 wasn't just about looks. It had a high-top design for ankle support and a cushioned insole for comfort. Players loved it, but soon enough, everyone wanted a pair. It became a huge in hip-hop and streetwear, influencing fashion well beyond the basketball court. Today, the Air Jordan 1 is still going strong. With all its re-releases and collaborations, it's clear the sneaker's legacy is far from over. Now let's talk about a shoe that really knows how to make an entrance, the Reebok Shaqnosis. Released in 1995, this sneaker was designed for none other than the big man himself, Shaquille O'Neal. And just like Shaq, this shoe was impossible to ignore. The Shaqnosis had a design that lived up to its name, and those concentric black and white circles? They were hypnotic, drawing your eye whether you wanted them to or not. It was the perfect match for Shaq's larger-than-life personality and dominating presence on the court, but the Shaqnosis wasn't just about turning heads, it was built to support Shaq's powerful style of play. The shoe featured hexa-like cushioning to absorb impact, crucial when you are a 7-foot, 300-pound center coming down from a dunk. The outsole was tough too, giving Shaq the traction he needed to power through defenders. Off the court, the Shaqnosis made a name in streetwear and hip-hop fashion, and it was bold, it was different, and it perfectly captured the spirit of 90s basketball. Even today, the Shaqnosis is remembered as one of the most distinctive sneakers in NBA history. When we talk about iconic NBA sneakers, we've got to mention the Nike LeBron 8. This shoe dropped in 2010, right when LeBron James made his controversial move to the Miami Heat. Designed by Jason Petrie, the LeBron 8 was built for power and speed, just like LeBron himself. It had a full-length Air Max unit for cushioning, perfect for absorbing the impact of LeBron's explosive playing style. The shoe's design was bold and matched the intensity of LeBron's game, but let's talk about that South Beach colorway for a second. With its bright teal and pink accents, it became an instant classic. It was like Miami in shoe form, and sneakerheads went crazy for it. Even today, it's one of the most sought-after LeBron releases ever. Off the court, the LeBron 8 became a style icon. It wasn't just basketball players wearing these kicks, you'd see them on the streets, in clubs, anywhere people wanted to make a statement. The LeBron 8 proved that a great basketball shoe could be so much more than just athletic gear. Before we had Air Jordans or LeBrons, there was the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star. This sneaker was dominating the courts way back in the 1920s, and it stayed on top through the 50s and 60s. We're talking about the shoe that legends like Wilt Chamberlain laced up before they hit the hardwood. Chuck Taylor's design is classic simplicity at its best. Canvas upper, rubber toe cap, and that iconic circular ankle patch, it's a look that stood the test of time. What made it so popular was its versatility. It wasn't just for basketball, you could wear Chucks for pretty much any sport or just to hang out. But the influence of the Chuck Taylor All-Star goes way beyond sports. It became a symbol of American culture, embraced by everyone from rock stars to punk rockers to skateboarders. It was the shoe of rebels and individualists, a way to express yourself without saying a word. The crazy thing is, despite all the advances in sneaker technology, Chuck Taylor's design was barely changed. It's still going strong today, worn by athletes and fashion lovers alike. It just goes to show that when you get something right, you don't need to mess with it. When we're talking about iconic NBA sneakers, we can't skip the Nike Air Force 1. This shoe hit the scene in 1982, designed by Bruce Kilgore, and it was a game changer. Why? Well, it was the first basketball shoe to use Nike Air technology. That was a big deal back then. The Air Force 1 had it all: clean lines, tough leather construction, and comfort that was off the charts. Basketball players loved it, and sneakerheads couldn't get enough. But here's the thing, this shoe was more than just a hit on the court. It took on a life of its own in the streets. Named after the plane that carries the US president, the Air Force 1 soon became royalty. Hip-hop artists embraced it, and it became a streetwear fashion. Its simple design made it perfect for customization, and Nike took full advantage, releasing countless colorways and collaborations over the years. Today, the Air Force 1 is still going strong. Whether you're crossing up defenders on the court or just crossing the street, these kicks make a statement. Now, let's talk about a shoe that changed the game in a different way, the Nike Kobe 4. When this sneaker dropped in 2008, it turned heads and raised eyebrows. Why? Because it was a low-top basketball shoe, and back then, that was pretty much unheard of. Kobe Bryant wanted a shoe that would give him the same kind of agility and speed on the basketball court, and the result was Kobe 4, designed by Eric Avar. It would use Nike's Flywire technology to keep the shoe lightweight but strong. A lot of people thought Kobe was crazy. Low tops for basketball? Wouldn't that lead to more ankle injuries? But Kobe proved them all wrong. He dominated the court in these shoes, winning his 4th championship and finals MVP in 2009. The Kobe 4 didn't just perform well, it looked good too. Its modern design and variety of colorways made it a hit with sneakerheads, and its success made way for more low-top basketball shoes in the future. Now, let's switch gears and talk about a shoe that came from an unexpected place. The Under Armour Curry 1. Released in 2015, this was Stephen Curry's first signature sneaker, and it marked Under Armour's big break into the basketball shoe game. The Curry 1 was designed to match Steph's quick, agile playing style. It had some cool tech, like anafoam for a snug fit and charged cushioning for responsive shock absorption. The high-top design gave Curry the ankle support he needed for all those quick cuts and sudden direction changes. But here's the thing, the Curry 1 wasn't just about performance. It looked good too, with shiny lines and colorways that reflected Curry's personality. It was a shoe that stood out, just like Curry himself. The success of the Curry 1 was a big deal for Under Armour, and it showed that they could compete with the big boys like Nike and Adidas in the basketball sneaker market. And for fans, wearing the Curry 1 was like being part of Steph's inspirational story, the underdog who became a superstar. Lastly, let's talk about another absolute classic, the Air Jordan 3. Released in 1988, this shoe is a big deal in Michael Jordan's career and in sneaker history. The Air Jordan 3 was designed by Tinker Hatfield, and it brought some major innovations to the table. It had visible air cushioning in the sole, which was a game changer for comfort and performance. But it wasn't just about the tech, the Air Jordan 3 looked good. It used premium materials like tumbled leather and introduced the elephant print, giving it a luxury feel that was way ahead of its time. The shoe gained legendary status when MJ wore it during the 1988 NBA All-Star Game. Remember that famous free throw line dunk? He was wearing the Air Jordan 3 in that match. It's one of those rare sneakers that looks just as good on the court as it does on the street. The Air Jordan 3 isn't just a shoe, it's a piece of basketball history. And with this, we reach the end of today's video. Share your opinion, do let us know in the comment section below, and if you like today's video, give us a thumbs up, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos. We'll see you next time, stay tuned and take care.